I'm Camila and I'm with Pixagonal, and today I have with me Australian author Natalie Starkoss. How are you? Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Yep,
Yay! That's so.
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Excited to
for
be talking with
joining us.
you.
Oh, so sorry. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us. How are we feeling post release? Because Prowl just came out. Was it on the 16th? No, the 22nd.
No, 22nd,
The
yeah.
22nd. Yeah. How is that
It,
going?
good. Exciting, nerve-wracking, all those kind of things, especially since here's my first book out. So it was all those first feels, yes.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. That's really exciting to have a year debut be launched and stuff, and it's a really good one. I thoroughly enjoyed it to the point where I can like remember names and remember people and remember like motives, and that's huge because I'm like Dory from Finding Nemo, but I eventually remember and then I feel bad. I loved it. The story was really cool. It was a cool setting. It was a cool plot, interesting plot. Do you want to summarize the book for those who have no idea what I'm talking about?
Sure. Oh, this is the fun thing when you go, do I say too much or not enough?
You can say as much
Basically,
as you want.
basically, these hybrids are human animal hybrids, and they were made in labs to be super soldiers, and they've been obviously genetically engineered. They've been groomed, they've been trained, they've been tortured into complying, lots of experiments done. So basically what the story goes is the military found them, collected them all, and have stuck them on this secret base that they call the compound. And they've got learning centers, they've got all sorts of things to help develop reading, so they can, all the things that they missed out on, basically, to round them out to normal people. And their next step is dealing with females. So they've come up with this plan that it's a secret, top secret military project that they've opened up to civilian women to apply for. They have trained rangers. It was originally 25 and older, but Daph, who's my main girl in this, says at the start, but they must have noped out before that terrifying NDA, because they dropped it to 21, and that's when she applied. And so, yeah, they turn up to this base. They have no idea what's going on, and they're told, hey, there's these human animal hybrids. This is about them. You're spending the next 2 years here helping them, develop social etiquette, relationships, how to deal with the opposite sex kind of thing. And right while they're in the middle of this spiel, there's an emergency, and one of them is deteriorating past what they can do to save him. And that's how we meet Prowl. Mm-hmm. So Prowl is pretty messed up, actually.
Yeah,
He's
no,
got PTSD.
I just wanted to give I want to say the man, but is he the man? I just want to give him a hug.
A male?
I just want to give him a hug. Like, truly. I felt really bad. And I briefly talked to you about this, but the way you handle some themes in your book, some pretty heavy themes like, PTSD and things like that, like, it's very beautiful. It's beautifully done, the way you handle it and how it's represented and the way that it's addressed and taken care of, and I really appreciated all that. It was very sweet, and it was just refreshing to see that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When you're creating characters, you need to look at how every single one of them might have the same diagnosis, but it affects them differently. There's 4 different animal hybrids, and Prowl is a lion. And he's got 2 other brothers that have survived. So they're the least amount of any of the species that have survived. So his 2 brothers are king in range. For Prowl, he's confined in a confined space. They've tried to make it nice, like a bare bones apartment. But basically, he can't deal with being contained anymore, even though it's the only safe way for him to be. And so his PTSD manifests as, I just need to knock myself out. I can't be here. I can't stand being here. the king, it's touched on there. So Prowl will only settle, he's very pheromone based and will settle for family. But that's King and Rage. And Rage is out in the wild zone. He can't come and help. And so his only person that can help him and settle him is King. But because of King's PTSD, he can't stay in that space either for very long. So he's got this constant guilt of, I can't stay in there and help him. As soon as I leave, Prowl's off the deep end again. And Daff, obviously, these women get sent in one at a time to see if Prowl will respond to their pheromones, see if any of them connect to him in a way that he can acknowledge his family to help soothe and calm him, so that he's not alone in that space and his body has time to heal and repair and he can eat and sleep again. And that person's Daff. Daff soothes him.
I love her. I love her so much.
She's funny because when I started writing her, she wasn't as fierce as she is. And I realised as I was writing her that if she's walking in, she's generations in sort of that trailer park, very low socioeconomic thing. Her dad was injured at work, hasn't been able to work for years, got high medical bills, mum's nowhere around. And so she's basically supporting him, and she's gone into this going, okay, I can wipe out debts because they get paid an insane amount of money for this contract, which is why she's taken it. I can wipe out Dad's medical bills. I can get us into an actual home. You know, I could study if I wanted to instead of working 2 dead-end jobs just to meet basic living standards, which I think in today's socioeconomics is hard
so
to...
relatable. It was so relatable.
Yeah.
It was so relatable.
And so for Daff, she's just going in as a way to get herself out of, you know, all this financial stuff and give herself a better future. And when she hears about the hybrids and what's going on, she has this realization that, you know what, yeah, obviously paying bills is good and helping dads is good, but I've never actually done something worthwhile that I can look at and go, I'm proud of that, or done something
that she feels like it's meaningful and like
yeah. And as she realizes how these hybrids have been treated, because yes, they've been rescued and given freedom, but thanks to a certain Dr. Jerkoff,
it's just, he is such, and I'm a sucker for villains, okay? He's not the kind of villain I love. He's the kind of villain that I want to yeet. I want to defenestrate him. Like, I do not enjoy. He does not spark joy.
So this is Dr. Elliot.
Yes.
And to understand his role in this, we have Lara, who is she represents the hybrids. She looks after their health, their well-being, gets the final say on their care on the base. Mm-hmm. We have another guy that's head of the female safety and their well-being, health and well-being. And then we have Dr. Elliot, and he is a key player because although he doesn't get the final say over anything, he's kind of he walks on thinking he knows everything because he's got his PhD in zoology, which, you know, these guys have got animal DNA. They've got some of those instincts there. They're not sure how they're going to display. Mm-hmm. And he's got a psychology degree. So, you know, he's like, oh, I'm the pro here. What I think counts. But he's got issues. And I think as the book goes along, you realise that he's been driving this opinion that the hybrids are still less than. They're not completely human. Right. They're diluted. They're different. Mm-hmm. And so even though they should have, you know, basic human rights, they've been led to believe that they're essentially monsters, that females won't want to touch them. They won't want to be intimate with them. They won't want to have relationships with them because why would they? These are genetic abominations. Right. And so this is kind of his word of thinking has just kind of spread throughout the compound right from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And Daff is the first one to really clue on, go, hey, this isn't right. There is nothing wrong with you. You've been told you're worthy of human rights. Basic human rights is to be loved, to be cared for, to have those relationships. And so she just kind of builds this, that's not okay. That's not okay. not okay,
Yeah.
and really starts fighting for them.
So she's being able to kind of like look into her own kind of point of view in her chapters, which I love, like multiple POVs. I love that so much, and you did that so nicely too. It was very consistently Daff and very consistently like Prowl, and it was very nice. Even when she's having those little dialogues with herself during her chapters, she doesn't have ulterior motives. She's not just she's sweet. She's a good person who has just been dealt a shitty card from by life, and she's trying to claw out of that hole. She's trying to bring her and her dad. She's doing this for her dad, for her family. She's loyal. I really enjoyed her and her best friend, their dynamic with that, and how everything just kind of, how it all just kind of goes down to like the smut readers. I loved how you describe smut in this book. I have, like, if you go back, I have to show you my annotations at some point, because I think those entire paragraphs are highlighted because they were so good. Sure, it was a huge nod and nudge, but like you actually explained, you did a really good justice the way you explained what it is and how it works, and it was just so cool it was like a fourth wall break. It was really cool.
Story-wise, Daff uses smut as an example to the hybrids that, women won't be repulsed by you and your different anatomy. There's a whole genre of books and adult stores that make altered ones to fulfill these fantasies, and that's when it really clicks for the hybrids that, hang on, there's women that like this, that want this. And then there's this rampage of them wanting to read smut books so they can know. Yeah, no,
they're like, oh, we need to give me this book. Well, I mean, I think like something, they ran out of books or something like that. Like everybody's trying to read one. And it's like, oh, what have I started? The tension was nice. It was very nicely built. I'm a sucker for slow burns, but it wasn't so slow that I was like, just do it. But it was slow enough to where we could appreciate the development of it. You know what I mean? Because it's a very nice development. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't read it yet. Like, the book is out. Please go read it. It is totally worth it.
I've had quite a few comments that it's a very fast-paced book.
Oh,
and
yes.
It is. But I think a lot of that is from Dr. Jerkoff, Elliot, pushing for Prowl to fail. It's like, okay, you've done this. Next one, next test, next test, next test. He's really driving, forcing things to happen fast. The story is actually, because of him forcing things, we really need to keep up and keep with them. So it actually did make the book more fast-paced than I was expecting it to, but it seemed to work. So that fast, while it's still a decent pace, that level of speed drops off from the next ones because he just can't push the same. So heads up, it is a happily for now because of the way things are on the base. But as of book 3, which is Rage, because we've got a Prowl King Rage, after Rage onwards, they do get their happily ever afters, each couple. It's just awesome.
Yeah, no, that's
we
cool.
have to we have a few things to process with their rights and things.
We gotta work for it. Yeah. I'm excited to see things from Rage's point of view, just because of everything that is talked about Rage in the book. Again, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm excited to see how he's handled in his. I'm guessing he's going to have a point of view in his book. So.
Oh yeah. All the books are dual point of view, so you get
perfect. I'm excited to see that.
It drives me nuts, only being able to read a book with one character's person, like their viewpoint going, but what are they thinking? Why are they thinking that? Do they know? It drives me crazy. So I'm like, okay, well, if that drives me crazy, I'm going to have to write from
No, that makes sense. And like, it's just nice. It's nice because like you said, it's nice to just know what the other characters are thinking, or if there is an ulterior motive that is hidden from the other characters, but we get to see it and we know, and we get to witness things while knowing things that the other character doesn't. So it's cool having multiple point of views. So can you tell me what inspired you to write Prowl? What was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down and write about a bunch of sexy lion hybrid men?
Prowl, and here's my debut. He actually was a side thought that popped up. I've got 2 other series that I'm working on. And Prowl kind of just hit me out of nowhere. So I am a very, very heavy reader. That's my escape, my safe place. I reset my brain. It's kind of a running joke in my house to ask me what I'm reading because I can't tell you the title because I just go through them so fast.
Oh my gosh.
I love my alien and monster smut, and I go through stages where it'll be all orcs or it'll be all, one specific type of alien, or it'll be all shifters, like bear shifters or wolf shifters. And
can
I think I was
Can I hold your hand and you can take me through this? Because like I said, I am brand new to this world. It's been since August. My fiance read Fourth Wing and was like, you need to read this. And then I started reading them all before he finished them. So like it became a thing. So I need some guidance in that department because I don't know where to go. So
oh yeah, I know I can help you with that.
Yay.
I was on a shifting spree. Obsession, I guess, is probably a more apt word. I just started thinking, what if it was wolf shifters, and then I got me thinking about all the different types of wolf shifters, and they're kind of that half form between man and wolf. I was thinking of, that half made stage, and I was thinking, what if they were that kind of half stage, but we've made them that way? So it wasn't this paranormal reason, it was we'd made them. So it kind of would fit in our current world. And I thought, okay, so if they were made, how would you have gone about that? What would happen? Like, would they actually be used where they could possibly be seen? Would they be just tested on to keep developing bigger and better varieties? What happens if they were found? My mind just kind of got obsessive and spiraled with it. And basically, that's what happened. Obviously, wolves were the first one, and wolves are one of the hybrids. There's lions, wolves, there's gorillas, and there's panthers, specifically black panthers. I wanted a feline species, but I don't know, I just felt like the lions were special. They needed their own separate little entity, and so, yeah.
Awesome.
And because I got obsessed with them, Prowl popped up first, and then before I knew it, I was spinning scenes in my head and had a storyline out of, what would happen if this, and what would I do walking into this situation, and it just spiraled, and he came out first.
So you're working on 2 more series. Are they like also smut, or are they different genres?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, that's
so there's the My Gargoyle series. And that actually comes out at the end of May, the first book for that. So
I'm gonna need the art form for that.
It's protected by the gargoyle, but it's actually a post-apocalypse dystopian type story. The gargoyles are actually aliens that turn to stone, and so but the humans, they turn to stone. They're gargoyles. And they have big wings and horns and all kinds of fun things to hold on to. They find this woman that is everything to them, and then it's their job to keep them safe and convince them that we're not the bad guys. The males in your life that control you and, step on you and use you, they're the bad guys, not us. Overcoming that fear of better the devil you know. Is it really?
Yeah.
And allowing themselves to trust and be treated right, that it's not some trap just to get them. So I want to read that.
I would like to read that.
I've actually set it in Tasmania, which is where I am. And we do a lot of hikes and walks and exploring. And I use these places. If you go on my TikTok, I've actually got videos of some of the places we visited. And it's these places where, that I'm imagining these scenes happening where, nature's taken back over, and this is the kind of stuff they've got to walk through and get through and hunt in and all that kind of stuff. So it's been really fun. I'm a visual person. So even Prowl, their secret base, the compound, based off islands that I found. So, use my pronunciation on this. Agashima Island, Aogoshima Island, it's off Japan. And so that was think of it like the base of a volcano, long extinct volcano, and all that lush soils, just nature's taken over, and they've made half of it onto a populated base and the other half is left wild, which is called the wild zone. So I love actual places.
Mm-hmm. With Prowl, what has been like the biggest challenge that you had to face with publishing Prowl, and what's been your favorite part? So your biggest challenge and then your favorite part about it.
Oh, the learning curve. The learning curve is huge. Well, for example, I've written in British English, so Aussie, and which obviously the spelling, grammar, punctuation differs to mainstream US, and so finding editors that are fine to edit that, because it's obviously it's very different. Right. Ones that you can trust, that you're handing your baby over, because it's such a personal piece of you. Where you publish it, how you publish it, marketing, oh my goodness. You don't realize that so much of writing a book is then trying to make sure that people can find it or see it, because it just gets swallowed up underneath everyone else that is also wants to put their babies out there and are pushing to be seen. And especially being brand new, there's no backlog of books or familiarity with you. Anyone that opens your book is taking a wild chance on you. You know what I mean? And that's mind-blowing, that people are taking that chance to open Prowl, to get that book. That's mind-blowing to me anytime.
I've said this to you like so many times right now. It's a very entertaining book. At first, because this was my first, like, what do you call it? Is this monster smut?
This is the thing. I was like, well, is it really? And I had an editor say, well, yeah, he's basically, well, you've been told they're monsters. It's sort of, I was told it's a good stepping stone into monster smut. Okay. So it's not full monster, but it's a stepping stone there that you get an idea.
Yeah, but it was gentle. Like. It was nice and gentle. It was a nice little step up to it. It's really neat to have like just more doors open like that with a book. But I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything to help the industry. It's all good.
What's been like your favorite part about this whole journey?
The messages.
Yeah.
The messages.
So why did you do this? Here's my therapy bill. Like, don't mind.
People saying, "Oh my goodness, I love this," and feeling that. I think coming into it, the self-doubt is, I love this, it's awesome, but it's kind of like rose-colored glasses. Am I wearing these right now? Am I just so emotionally invested into this that I think it's wonderful? But in reality, it's not quite there. You know what I mean? Have I written something that's, really good, or have I, not nailed it and absolutely failed it? So even if it's only a handful of people that go, you know what, I love this, or there was something about it that really spoke to me, or you know what, it was just a new experience that I want to look more into that kind of genre with other authors. I mean, that's amazing and thrilling and scary, because it's like, was that just a fluke? Am I going to keep repeating that?
No. You got talent. Can't beat talent.
Thank you. Having those little messages are just absolutely make your day. Absolutely make your day.
I make it a point, if I read an arc and I love it, I buy it. I buy the physical. So I did snag yours. It's just on its way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So finally, I love asking this. Okay. If you could sum up Prowl in 3 words only, which 3 words would you choose? And why?
Obsession,
yes,
need, and hope.
Ooh, Obsession, Need, and Hope. That tracks. Oh, that tracks. Those are solid ones, and they're meaningful ones too. They're big ones.
Yeah.
That's the trifecta, literally, of this book.
There you go.
That's intense. Cool. Well, that is Prowl, and this is
Prowl.
Natalie Starkoss. And thank you so much for chatting with me today. Thank you so much for writing Prowl. I cannot wait to read King. I'm gonna need the form for the other one you're writing, the gargoyle one, because I'm intrigued and I want it. But again, Prowl is out. It's been out, so please go get it. It is good. Highly recommend it. It's a fun read. And again, thank you so much, Natalie. And
thanks for having me.
Of course. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.